Hi guys, welcome back to our channel. So today I did another hair tutorial. I've been trying to do more hair tutorials since it's summertime and I've been trying to step outside of my comfort zone. So this was my first time doing any kind of knotless like style with added hair on myself. I have never in my 32 years of living added hair to my hair, so this was my first time doing it and you guys got to witness it. I have been watching like a ton of like knotless twists and knotless box braids tutorials for like the past 2 weeks. I've been watching reels, shorts. I've been studying. I've been doing all my research because I didn't want to waste my time doing this. Even though it was my first time doing it, I still really wanted to like my hair. At first I was going to do box braids, but I decided to start with something that I thought would be easier, which was knotless twists. But I underestimated how tedious twists are because my hands were cramping up so bad by the time I was done with this. I'm gonna try to be as detailed as possible when explaining this and the voiceover for you guys. So yeah, these are the results. I actually really like how they turned out. I made a couple of mistakes here and there because it was my first time, so you guys please bear with me. But I hope that this video helps any of you guys who've ever wanted to try a knotless style on yourself, or specifically knotless twist like I did. So I'm going to be sharing with you all the products that I used, the hair that I used. This did take me about 5 hours total to do. And that's only because I had to go back to my local beauty supply store to get more hair and then come back. And then I took a break after parting because no one tells you how tedious and annoying parting is. Honestly, parting was the most annoying part of this entire thing. Like, after I got the parts right, I was like smooth sailing, but parting was so annoying. I had to have Kendra help me check my parts because I was so anal about them, and I just wanted to make sure that they were close to perfect because I know the parting is not perfect. But like I said, this was my first time, so I'm pretty proud of myself. I think they look pretty good for this being my first time doing a knotless style on myself. So yes, I'm gonna stop rambling now. I know you guys want to get to the tutorial, so let me know if you guys like how this turned out and if you're gonna try it on yourself for the summer. Yes, so without further ado, let's go ahead and hop right into the tutorial. Alright guys, so I'm starting out with my hair freshly blow dried. I washed, conditioned, and deep conditioned the day before, and then I blow dried it with my comb attachment. I will have it linked down below. So here is the hair that I use. It's from the brand Expression, and I used 2 different kinds of hair. I used the Twisted Up Passion Butterfly Curl 20" in the color 1B, and then I used the Passion Tropical Curl also in the color 1B. I just decided to get 2 different types of hair because I didn't know which one I would prefer, so I just decided to use both of them. And you guys will see how I use both of them throughout the tutorial, but I liked each of them equally, and I used about 5 packs of hair. So I normally don't need my glasses to do my hair, but I did for this. So these are the tools that I used: a large rat tail comb, a parting comb, and an edge brush. I also used these clips from Sadu that I've had forever, and then you're also going to need some rubber bands for sectioning, and of course you're going to need a braiding gel. I've been loving this one from Kaleidoscope, the So Slick braiding gel. It's a really good gel. And then this is my favorite mousse of the moment, the Design Essentials. And then I didn't have the 3-part mirror that you hang on the door, so I just used basically all the mirrors in the house, 2 in the front and 1 in the back. And then if you don't have this little hair tower, you can just do the trick that I did. I just hung all of my hair on my bathroom cabinet. So if your hair is on the thicker and longer side, I highly recommend using a bigger rat tail comb like the black one that I'm using here. And then to clean up your parts, you can use the parting comb like the pink one that I have here. That's why I used both instead of just the parting comb. So I had to take off my glasses because I was parting around my ears. So like you see here, I'm just using the rat tail comb first and then the parting comb to clean up the parts. So I decided to do my hair in sections first. So there are like 6 sections. So there's section 1. So I parted my hair from ear to ear, like the top of my ear all the way to the other side. And then I did 2 other sections. So sections 2 and 3 for the next row. These parts are not perfect, but I tried to perfect them as I went throughout my hair. So all the way from the front, all the way to the sides. Then there's section 4, which is the row right above that, is basically I like to call the horseshoe section. That's how I remember it. And then sections 5 and 6, I like to call the antenna sections. So that just helped me remember it. So I went ahead and did the back 3 sections off camera so I can get in a little practice run, but it wasn't as hard as I thought it was, so I caught on pretty quickly, I think. So for the second row, I decided to do 6 twists total. So I just started out by parting right behind my ear for the first section. It looks a little bigger compared to the ones in the back, but obviously this section is bigger than the nape section. So after I parted my hair from my ear, I just took the Kaleidoscope So Slick Braid Grip Gel and I decided to go ahead and smooth down my edges because this section was in the front. I prefer to do knotless twists just because I feel like they have less tension on the scalp and I want this to be an effective protective style. So I just started out with a braid. So I braided my hair maybe like 3 or 4 times before I went ahead and split the 3 different sections into 2 sections to get ready to twist. So here I'm just splitting it into 2 different sections. So first I'm going to take the Passion Butterfly Curl, and it's a little bit smoother than the Tropical Curl I noticed, but I liked each of them equally like I said, but I just decided to start each twist with this one. And you want to take your braid gel and twist the hair into your hair. So the braid gel is going to help them stick together a lot better. Basically started to twist the passion hair into my hair. And after I twisted into my hair, that's when I began my twist. And then I twisted my hair down a few times, maybe like 4 or 5 times. And then that's when I picked up a piece of the Passion Tropical Curl. So for each twist, I used about 2 to 3 pieces of hair. And I decided to start each twist with the Passion Butterfly. And in the middle, I liked using the Tropical Curl. And then if I used a third piece, I finish it off again with the Passion Butterfly. So this hair does stay pretty well at the ends because it's curly, but if you didn't want to just leave it out, you can loop it around and create like a little knot like I'm doing here. This was the easiest way that I found to make sure that it was nice and secure. So I used the 1 finger loop method to secure the knot, but if you're doing this for the first time, you can use 2 fingers like I'm doing here and then loop it around and then pull the rest of the hair through to create a knot. So this is just the easiest way that I found to do it and to, like I said, ensure that the hair at the ends is nice and secure. So for this section, I am going to slow it down just a little bit just to show you guys exactly what I discovered along the way that made it easier for me. So as far as twisting the synthetic hair into my hair, I noticed that twisting them in opposite directions helped with gapping. So because I kept experiencing a little bit of gapping, so I made sure I twisted one side down and then the other side up. So twisting them in opposite directions before you go in and twist will help them stay better. I discovered what felt more secure throughout my hair as I was going along. So twisting them in opposite directions really helps. Just make sure you're twisting one of them up and then the other one down as you're twisting the synthetic hair into your hair, and then begin your twist. So that really helped me. I learned a lot along the way. I learned by doing, so it's really hard for me to learn by watching. Like I said at the beginning of the video, I watched a ton of tutorials, but I found that once I actually did it, it was a lot different than I thought it would be. I definitely learned a lot better, I'm sure like anybody, by doing it versus watching. So for the next row, I also did another 6 sections, I'm pretty sure, but I made sure that my parts were offset from the row before. I mean, most people's heads are shaped differently, so this is going to depend on how small or big your head is. So, but I just went ahead and did like 6 sections for this row as well. So I did 3 twists on each side. So I just went ahead and split this side into 3s, as you can see. So I made sure I rubber banded off the front one and the back one, and then it was easier for me to go ahead and twist the middle one first. So I just clipped away this front piece and I went ahead and twisted the middle one over on the left side. So by the time I got to this section, I pretty much had it down because I'm not gonna lie, the section before this, a few pieces, I was getting kind of frustrated, but I kind of got the hang of it. So I just made sure I went ahead and smoothed down each section with my grip gel. And again, I decided to do a braid to start. Now the point of the braid to start before you twist is to make sure they're secure, because if you start out with a twist at the root, they aren't gonna stay as well. So this is just to ensure security of the knotless part. And I just found that in my research that knotless styles help with your hair not having as much tension on it. So the point of protective style is to help your hair stay protected and also to help it grow as well. So I just figured that the knotless technique would be better for me, because some people start with like looping the hair and doing this twisting technique, but I prefer starting with a braid because I just feel like it was better for overall hair health and not having as much tension on the scalp, like I just said, because you don't want to take these out and your hair is thinner. That defeats the whole purpose of a protective style, in my opinion. So this was just the healthiest way for me to do it. So starting with a braid protected my hair, I feel like, the best. So again, you guys already saw me do this a couple of times. I just wanted to slow it down for you guys again, just in case you're following along. Also, the knotless technique was way more comfortable to sleep in. So if you do have knotless twists or braids, they won't be as comfortable to sleep in, like as far as like laying on them. So I noticed that with this too, it was flatter on the head. And I just like the whole overall look of a knotless style as well, because it's flatter on the top of the head. And like I said, more comfortable to sleep in as well. I also wanted to mention that I did use this braid gel on my mids to ends as well. So I didn't just use it on my roots, I also used it along the twist, and it did a good job at not flaking or anything. So I grabbed some gel like every 4 or 5 times that I twisted my hair. I just added more of the braid and grip gel. And like I said, I really enjoyed this one because it didn't flake up on me or anything, and it held my twist really, really nicely. All right, guys, so antenna sections, last sections. So I decided to split these into 2 each. So 4 last twist total. So I did 4 on the top of my head. I know some people like to do 6, but I just felt like 4 fit better with how I had my hair parted. So you could do 4 or 6 depending on how you parted your hair originally, but I just did 4. So this is also the perfect time to smooth out your baby hairs in the front. So again, I'm starting out with the braid. Like I said at the beginning, I braid my hair at least maybe 3 or 4 times, and then I go ahead and begin twisting the passion hair into my hair. Okay guys, so like I said, this took me about 5 hours because I had to go and get more hair like I said, but it probably would have taken me less time if I hadn't stopped and gone to the beauty supply store to get more hair. And I did make Kendra go inside for me because I looked crazy. Here, as you can see, I was so over it. I was so tired, but I persevered and I finished. So make sure you finish off with some mousse. I'm just using one of my faves. This is the Design Essentials Almond and Avocado Curl Enhancing Mousse. So this also does a good job at holding styles as well. So I put it on my roots as well as all the way down my twist. So intervening the tutorial really quickly, this is a few days later. I did add some length to the ends, and I like how light this hair still is even when you add more hair, so it's still not tension on the scalp. I wanted to show you guys how I had been sleeping for like the whole week. You basically just pull all your hair to the back and take one side and wrap it around the front in the opposite direction, and then the other side to the front in the opposite direction, kind of like a basket. And then you basically want to secure it with your silk scarf. So I've had this silk scarf for a while. I don't know where hardly any of my silk scarves are from because I've had them for so long, but I'm pretty sure most of us have a silk scarf. So yeah, I just found that this was the most comfortable way to sleep with these twists. This way to me just works the best because I tend to sleep on my side and sometimes I sleep on my back. So like I said, this was the most comfortable way to sleep if you sleep any of those ways. And it doesn't have as much tension because I'm not really a big fan of sleeping with like long twist or braids in a like ponytail or like a top knot because it's like tension on your edges. And I personally don't like the feeling of hair down my back while I'm sleeping because it's kind of itchy. So to me, this was the most efficient way. And then I just secured it with a bonnet to make sure that the scarf didn't come off. So yeah, so these are the finished results. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. I do want to try more knotless twists and braids this summer, so let me know if you guys would want to see more. I will continue to learn more styles. So I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial and I will see you guys in the next one.